Jurgen, lovely to see you.
Hi.
Can I ask you first about James Bond? I thought it's a perfect place to start. Jamie Carragher has been talking to Daniel Craig, and he asked whether you'd make a James Bond. And James Bond himself says he worships you, and you'd absolutely make a good Bond, he says, because you're a born leader. What do you make of that?
No, I don't want to be James Bond. Actually, that's not true. As a kid, I wanted to be James Bond, but it's long ago. So meanwhile, I'm happy watching him doing what he's doing. And I was lucky enough to meet Daniel Craig on 2 occasions, I think. And I actually will miss him as James Bond, to be honest. But let's see who will be the next one. I will watch these movies as well. It's went through my whole life. I followed all of them. I think it was for me. Sean Connery, start with Sean Connery, if I'm 100% right, and Roger Moore and all these guys. They did all a really good job, and it's a great story. So I liked it always, and thank you very much for having these nice words. But I would be a really bad James Bond because if I walk out of the water in swim shorts, I think that would be the moment when the whole world would switch off. So, but no problem. We all have our jobs to do in life, and he has to save the world, and I have to help Liverpool from time to time.
Thanks for playing Paul on that one. Listen, Jurgen, this is a massive game. Onto the serious business. Just how big is it, do you think?
Big. It's Man City is an outstanding football team. They lost now against PSG after the game at Porto. I only knew the result, and I said they probably will strike back, but I don't have to. Actually, I saw now the game, obviously, and it was a really good football game. Man City played a really good game, which they lost in 2 situations, let me say like this, or 3-4 situations when they didn't use their chances and PSG could score. But when you think about the quality of the PSG team and then the way how Man City dominated them, that says a lot. That says a lot about the quality. So, we have to play a proper football game, I would say, to have a chance. But it's Anfield, and we are really looking forward to it. I can say that, yeah.
You've scored 20 goals in your last 6 matches in all competitions. Has Liverpool's strike force ever been more potent in the time you've been there, do you think?
I don't know. I cannot compare. I thought actually we scored quite a few goals in the last few years. So I don't know that it was that much more now, or I don't even know that. Scored some goals, that's true, but I know as well that we missed a lot of chances in that period. So it's clear. But I'm not sure if we should expect that now against City. I know there were games when we scored a good number, or they scored as well, a lot of goals against us, or we against them. But it always helps when you are. We are in a good shape, that's for sure. We are absolutely. We are in a good moment. Let me say it like this. But that's what you have to be to have a chance against them. They are still really, for me, probably the best team in Europe in the moment. So, and it's a tough one. And a week ago or so, a bit more than a week, was today, last weekend, they played Chelsea, and everybody was talking about Chelsea, how good they are. They are good. Oh my God, they are really good. But City was clear better that day, and so that's the team we will face, and we have to win the game. We have to score goals. So all what we did in the last few weeks now is helpful because we are confident in that department, but we have to defend on our absolute highest level to stay in the game and to make sure that the goals we score make the difference.
Fantastic. Thank you, Rob. We'll go to another Rob Scanlon for 2 from Premier League Productions.
Hello, Jurgen. Whoever plays on the right for you obviously has a great challenge this weekend with João Cancelo, Jack Grealish potentially up against them. With Trent obviously not available for you, how does that kind of influence your overall plan for this game, please?
Not really. We do a lineup, and it's not clear. You're right. We have, I think, 3. Oh, more options actually for the position. So we will see which one we choose. So we have obviously James, we have Joe, we have Nico, we could change system. There are quite a few things. We have time to train this week, so there are a lot of things possible. But football is not the game anymore where you should have these 1-1 challenges for a long time. And there are moments, seconds, but actually whoever plays there should be protected by at least 2 players in a right back situation. That's a centre half and a midfielder and the winger in ideal world who is there around. So whoever plays there should not be afraid that he will be alone for a long time against really good football players, no doubt about that. But I don't know who will play for City in this moment. So I don't think it doesn't make sense to think too much about it. No, we have to defend as a unit. And if you do that, then it's tricky for everybody. But there will be moments, of course, as I said, where individual quality will shine on both sides, and hopefully, in the end, it will be good enough for us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Rob, okay, we'll go one from Juliet, then one from James from TalkSport. Jules.
Jurgen, you talk about being in good shape. Does it make it easier then to prepare for matches like this? Because, strategies would have been in place for a week like this to prepare for, the week that you've just had. So the fact that you're in such good form, does that make it easier or harder?
I'm not sure if easier is the right word, but it's better. It's better for sure that you don't have to boost the confidence during the week and tell the boys even when it's not that good on a training pitch, but you tell them, oh, it's great, you look outstanding and all these kind of things. What you have to do from time to time to get get a more positive view on things again. We have quite a positive view, obviously, and we like the football we play in the moment, but we know we didn't play Man City yet in the league this season, and they didn't play us. So whatever we can see, whatever we can use, and of course we will use the pictures from the Chelsea game and from the PSG game for preparing the boys. It's still different to play us, and for us it's different to play against Brentford or Chelsea or whoever, or Leeds, to play Man City. This is a really special game of the season every year. It's always the same. And it has to be high intense, because if it's not high intense, I would say then City is really difficult to play against. You have to be brave, you have to be front-footed, you have to be cheeky in moments, you have to be really your best version. And then, but only then, you have a chance. And exactly that's what we try. And whatever we did last week is okay, or now a few days ago only, is okay, but it's not the 1 point which makes a difference in that game. The difference will make a lot of things we have to show on Sunday, and that's a complex football challenge. But thank God for both teams, and that's what makes it so exciting.
Okay, thanks, Jules. We'll go to James from TalkSport for one, and then we'll go to James Mountford from BBC Merseyside.
Jurgen, you're the only side still unbeaten in the Premier League this season. If you can keep that record intact after this weekend, do you think that would mark a successful start to the season?
Yeah, a draw would then probably obviously mean as well, but we are not, we would be unbeaten. Taking now already the point, I would say, is a little bit early. So let's play the game and ask me after that. Is then match day 7, right? The weekend. It's match days, it's the weekend. Yeah, Premier League match day 7. So yeah, so far the start is obviously okay, but it's not that we are overly happy and think we couldn't have done better and stuff like this. So it's just the start. So that's how it is, and we have to carry on. That's what we do. And I don't know which result. I know if we would win, I would think, okay, that looks now like a proper start. But I think then is Watford after that, after the national break, then is Atletico, and then is Man United. So that's then match day 9. So I'm not too much interested in the start or whatever. I just want to play the best season we can play. And for that, I don't want to draw any line under a specific part of the season and say then so far, so good. So far, it is so far so good, but it's just a few games in. So let's carry on, please.
Thank you, James. James Mountford for one from Merseyside, then Carl Markham from Press Association.
Hello, Jurgen. We had the really sad news this week about the passing of Roger Hunt, and I just wondered if you wanted to pay tribute and if you could talk about the connection that the players that you have feel towards those players in the 60s.
There are so many people in our club who could say much more and find much better words for the impact Roger Hunt had on his club. Yesterday, when we had the ceremony at the stadium, I spent some time together with Kenny Dalglish, John Aldridge, and a few other guys, and they obviously know much more about that. And but what they like about the club is that this club is really good in remembering their legends, and I really like that. And Roger Hunt, I think in its time, he was for sure one of the most influential players in the country and maybe in Europe. He was an exceptional striker, that's what I know, but I didn't meet him really, at least not in person, that I could say something about him. But that I know from all the people I spoke to, we all will miss him, and we all think just positive about him, and we all wish his family the very best, because he was a true legend of this club.
Okay. Thank you, James. And then I think to finish this section, Kieran Canning, and I've got the three hands that realistically I can take up in the first breakout. So Kieran from I think AFP.
Hi, Jurgen.
Hi.
Appears as if there might be some sort of exemption worked out for the players travelling to red list countries over the international break. I just wonder if you've had any information on that yet, and how it's going to work, because you've got one of the clubs most affected with players going to those countries.
There's no final decision as far as I know. I heard probably the same things what you heard. It's like 10 days quarantine, allowed to play the games, allowed to work, go to work, not allowed to live at home, but don't have to live in a hotel chosen by, I don't know, any authorities. You can choose the hotel yourself, but food has to be delivered in front of your room door. You're not allowed to get in any visitors. And I don't know if that's the solution, I don't know where it's coming from. I think we should not forget, in our case, we talk about the Brazilian players, Costas Tsimikas and Sadio Mane. So that would mean for the players after the national break, they go for 10 to 12 days with their national teams, and then they go another 10 days away from their families into a quarantine. That's 22 days. And 2 weeks later, there's the next international break, the next international duty. So it doesn't sound for me like a real solution. It's there are different things in it. Let's start with that. Brazil and other countries, Georgia and other countries, are on the red list for England. But for example, they are not for France. They are not for Germany. They are not for Spain, I think, at least. The players can come back and play immediately after the last international break, where the English players, the players who play in England, were not allowed to go. All the other countries could send their players, and they could come back and have the normal life, what is normal in the moment. That it means the players are constantly in bubbles. They are here in a bubble. They are at their international duty in a bubble. And I don't know exactly why that's now different to how it already was. So what I really don't like about the thing, it's now, again, I don't think it's proper thought through. It feels a little bit that somebody in the government, first and foremost, I really think they cannot have all the information from playing football. They cannot have it. It looks a little bit like somebody opens a door in an important office at the government and it says, by the way, we still have to sort that with the footballers. It says, yeah, what about the footballers? What's wrong with them? Yeah, they play in Brazil and they're on the red list for us. Yeah, what do we think? Yeah, let's put them 10 days. Yeah, they don't like that. And I say, okay, then what can we do? Yeah, they don't like the situation with the hotel. Yeah, then let them go in another hotel. So it's like, come on, boys. Cowboys, we take here people out of 3 weeks out of normal life for actually no real reason, because we take care for our players when they are here and live with their families. They don't do anything else. They go home, come to training and go home. Now we do them in a hotel and deliver the food in front of their door. That's just not right. With all the, I look at the whole situation with all possible seriousness. But what we do now is we just move the responsibility to the players. So do you want that? Can you do that? If you don't want it, don't go to your national team. That's just not right. I really think whoever negotiated, whoever gave the informations to the people like government. I don't expect the government to be 100% in the Premier League situation. I'm thinking about the need of specific players. But the Premier League has to tell, we have to fight for our players. And that's now not the situation. Again, that if in Brazil the situation is that bad, then we have to react on that. But why does France, Germany, Italy, Spain think it's not that bad? I don't know exactly. I don't know. Why can their players go back to France, go back to other European countries and play on and have the life they had before afterwards as well? And here they have to go for 10 days in a hotel with delivering the food in front of their door. If that's the case. So that's what I heard, that it's maybe like this. I just think it's not okay that we constantly now we move just responsibility to the players. So if you are ready to do that, then you can go. If not, then stay here. So it's not okay. But yeah.
Carl, last question in the open, then we'll go to the hands that we've got up. So Carl Markham.
Hi again. James Milner is obviously not a 22-year-old Trent Alexander-Arnold, but I just wondered what qualities he brings to that position when he fills in at right back. He's done a good job against Wilfried Zaha, did a good job against Luis Diaz. Just wondered, obviously there's a difference, but he brings something different because of his experience, I presume.
James is, I'm not sure that James knows already which positions he all can play, to be honest. So it's like he doesn't like the position, but he plays it for that really exceptionally well, because he's a smart footballer. So that's how it is, and he likes to be involved in the game, and that's why he always thought he has to play in the middle of the park. But in the way we play, the right back is quite influential, has quite a lot of possession opportunities to be influential in the game and stuff like this. So I think in the moment he thinks it's okay to play there. But again, we didn't make the decision yet. But if he plays there, or he used to play there in the last few games, he did really well. That's true. He is just a very important part of the squad, not only if he plays, but when he plays as well. But he's in the dressing room, an incredible influential player, and it's really nice that he can have these both things, being in the dressing room, a real engine, and on the pitch as well. So that I'm really happy for him that he has the opportunity to play these kind of games and to put in these kind of performances, because it shows his whole spectrum. So he can do pretty much everything. He can play in each position, and it's really nice. And at one point after his career, which will be hopefully only in a few years, he will appreciate that as well as an experience.
Thank you, Carl. We'll go to the breakout now, the first one. And this is under embargo until 10:30 tonight, which is Friday the 1st of October. So please stop